This secret mobile app idea is worth in excess of $50 billion. Now, what is the app idea and why am I so confident in its valuation? Well, I'll tell you that in about 60 seconds. Let me make my case. A little bit more about the app. It is a social media app. It will earn $6 billion per year in revenue, and it could be sold for roughly $50 billion to venture capitalists. Now entertain this thought experiment for just a moment. If you knew the app idea, what would you do? Would you have it developed? Well, what if I told you that the app would take 200 days to develop and development cost would be around $160,000 for your very first version? At that point, you might be wondering things like, how would I market the app? And what if the valuation provided is inaccurate? I know Jameson is telling me it's worth $50 billion, but what if he's not entirely accurate in his valuation? Would you take that risk? Write in the comments below before you watch the rest of the video. Would you take the risk? Would you plant $160,000, 200 days worth of development, and build this app idea if you trusted me and you thought that this thing would be worth $50 billion? Have you written your comment yet? I'm about to reveal what the $50 billion idea is, and before I tell you, I want you to write your comment. The $50 billion app idea is TikTok. TikTok is the secret app that I have been talking about, and it is a $50 billion app. It's actually worth almost close to $75 billion. It's somewhere in that range. It brings in roughly $5 billion in revenue per year, like 5 to 6. And people are willing to pay roughly a 10x multiple, and that gives it the valuation of $50 billion. But the point I'm trying to make here is that just because we know this app idea, like we know how it works, we know everything about it, TikTok, just open it up and see how it works. Just because we have this information doesn't mean that we can go out there and create our own version of it. The idea itself isn't that valuable. What matters is the execution of that idea. So if you are developing an app and you're afraid of sharing this idea with other people, I would challenge that idea and say that all that really matters is the execution. So as long as you can be the best at executing on building your app idea out, I wouldn't be worried about things like, sharing your app idea, or maybe even talking to a venture capital firm and seeing what they value your app as, regardless of how far you are in this process, just starting out, or maybe you've got some users, you're published your app already. And on that note, I would like to introduce today's sponsor for the video. It is Blue Throne, and they are a company that buys and optimizes mobile apps to drive their financial growth. They've developed this unique quote engine which takes in input like what's your current revenue and what's your daily active users and what does it cost for you to get a customer currently. It takes in these input parameters and it figures out what your app is worth. So if you have an app you've built, or you would like to build an app and then sell it to somebody, I'd encourage you to check out Blue Throne. Because it looks like they've got a pretty fair valuation model here. It looks at all these different things and it tries to do it in a non-biased way, just using the actual data. I'll leave a link in the description below if you want to go and check out Blue Throne. Let's look at an example analysis. This is for a music-related app. They've got an organic app that generates 1,600 installs a day in iOS and 4,000 installs a day on Android. In 2021, the app generated 105K on iOS and 175K on Android. Overall 290K in 21, and they have a year-over-year growth of 225%. Here's some information about how people are downloading their app. It's mostly from App Store search, 86%. Here's a look at their retention rate. In 1 day, they've got 24% retention. 7 days, they've got roughly 10% retention, and it trails off from there, but it is staying above the 8% mark for the most part after 30 days, which is actually quite incredible. The revenue trend is up and to the right, which is always good to see. And also the install trend is up and to the right as well, also great to see. The app supports many different languages, which they like to see because Blue Throne is looking to scale these apps up, and so if they are seeing product market fit and a global audience, they essentially want to scale this thing up and get a good return on their investment. The app is about 2 years old, has a great visibility score, and it shows good marks in this graph for keywords and visibility trends, which is what this is tracking. Like, when does the app show up when people are searching for it? It's got a lot of good reviews. We've got a 4.43 overall rating and 355 5-star ratings. There is one weakness: it has a big and famous company in its name, and that could be a legal issue. So it looks like when they were naming their app, they might have utilized an existing company to kind of boost themselves off of that popularity. Hopefully they're able to disassociate that. That will probably increase their valuation. So you can kind of see some of the inputs that go into this process, and if you reach out to Blue Throne, they'll kind of walk you through all these different things. You know, they're there to help you. They want your app to succeed, because if they're going to buy it from you, they want it to obviously take off. So I'm sure they would be happy providing some sort of consultancy as far as, you know, giving you ideas on how to structure your pricing and maybe what different regions to target, that sort of thing. So they're there to help. And like I said at the beginning of the video, don't be afraid of sharing your app idea. I mean, I guess, you know, technically someone could pull the Mark Zuckerberg on you and build it, but really, these days there are just so many ideas and so many possibilities out there. What matters is just doing something and, you know, getting the help you need when you need it, and, you know, building something great and hopefully making a lot of money in the process. And that's really it for this video. Just a fun thought exercise about what if there was a $50 billion app idea and I told you what it was. Would you build it? Well, now you know what it is. Are you going to build it? I'm not going to, because I don't want to compete with TikTok. They've already got a huge starter advantage. They started development first, and I don't think I could build a better product than them. It's a very, very nice product, and there's been tons of money invested. So fun thought exercise. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.